Some bridges are meant to be burned, guys. So listen to this. Some ships are meant to sink, and some exes are meant to be blocked, deleted, buried.
If your friend casually mentions that they're dating someone new and your first thought is, oh, I hope they're ugly, then you go on a social media stalk.
Yeah, I think everyone's done that.
I mean,
Apart from me.
Never.
Never. I think we've done it together. Hi, I'm Lisa Nash.
And I'm Melanie Cameron.
And welcome to Did We Stutter?
An original by the London Podcast Studios.
So, we're back again.
We're back. They've let us back in the building.
Oh, do you know what? Excited. We've got lots to talk about today.
We've always got lots to talk about, Lise.
We've had a lot of comments, haven't we?
Yeah,
so I think they're going to come up again today.
It's been crazy, actually. So thank you to everyone that's been engaging with us on our social medias. We do read all the comments, good and bad.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have so many opinions coming back, and some of the stuff when we were talking about the different generations and people throwing their anecdotes and their stories. It's been brilliant.
But today we're going to be talking about the X-Files, really.
Yes.
Can you be friends with your ex? And I'm sure we're going to get a lot of comments about this. So, yeah,
100%.
Do let us know, actually, if you are friends still with your ex and any kind of stories about that.
Well, I asked you this before we started and you said, I'll tell you when we start rolling. So are you...
Keep a little bit of a surprise.
Are you friends with any of your exes? You are?
I am, actually. But I think there's a reason, which I think we're going to talk about in a bit there. I think there's three kind of flags of whether you can be friends with your ex. You know?
Go on.
Well, I suppose let's start. Okay. So I think the only reason that it will work being friends with your ex is if time has passed,
yes,
and
agreed.
the dust has settled, or that you have to stay in touch with them because you've got a child, or some cases that doesn't really work either, or you've kind of broken up on good terms and no one's cheated on anyone, or maybe the love wasn't strong enough. I don't know, because
I think that's the hardest one, because I think sometimes, like, if somebody's cheated or whatever, there's a clean break. That's it. It's done. It's the end. Yeah. When it kind of,
and there's a lot of pain and hurt.
But there's a cut-off point. I think sometimes when things fizzle, it's really easy to dip back in and go, oh, but it's comfortable, and but we know each other so well, and I think that's harder sometimes to walk away from.
It is. I mean, it's so weird, actually. About the whole kind of ex thing, because it's like 1 minute you're kind of, sending I love you messages and got heart emojis, and the next minute you're kind of like avoiding them like the plague,
It's the weirdest thing, isn't it? Like, my mum used to say, for every good memory, force yourself to remember 3 bad, because when we start looking back on the relationship, it's like we've got rose-coloured glasses on, and you only remember the good times, and you'll see, and it's everything reminds you of them. Like an advert will come and you go,
I know.
The last time we watched this, we were sat on the sofa together. It's like everything reminds you of them.
But I think, when you ask, am I friends with exes? I mean, there's definite no with a couple. I mean, my last kind of relationship is a definite no. And sometimes you just, you're in a relationship because you fancy them, sex is good or whatever it might be. And then you realise after, it's like, I don't even like you.
I was going to ask you, actually, because there's a thing called bonus night where you go back to an ex for a night.
Well, do you know what? There are, I don't know if I could say this, but I'm going to anyway.
Hold on a minute.
I can say it.
It's a bit late to start.
My daughter to watch it.
It's a bit late to start worrying about what we say on here, Lise.
No, but like sex is really good.
Yeah.
I remember breaking up with one person, just thinking, don't really even like you, but I just want to go back one more time.
I know who you're talking about as well.
Just to kind of like remember it properly, But that's the thing. Perfect. Why we go back to an ex? There's a reason, and most of the reasons don't kind of add up.
No, because you've got to remember the reasons why you broke up in the first place. They don't magically fix overnight.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it goes back to what I was saying. You reminisce and you you think of the good times, and all the bad seems to just filter out of your mind.
Yeah. You like you said, rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah.
And you put up with things. What is that in a relationship? Why do people put up with things that if
you won't put up with it from a friend?
That's what I was just about to say. Like, I could look at you and you're going out with someone, I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
You've said it to me in the past. What are you talking about?
And I'm going to continue saying it.
And I've said it to you in the past. Like, I've said,
but
John,
you think
let me give you a shake.
You think this guy's kind of like, the next thing or next best thing since sliced bread. Let me get words out. I don't think I've ever thought that. That's why I can't say it properly. And then your friends kind of like, really, Lisa, you could do so much better. And then in the end, you just realise, you know.
I mean, there's only one ex that I'm friends with, and that's because he is related to one of my best friends. So we kind of had to figure it out because it was very, very awkward for my poor friend when we broke up.
Yeah, that's the thing when a friend introduces you to somebody.
He's sworn never to do it ever again. Yeah. He was like, Melzy, that is never happening again.
Do you know what though? I've had it when like I've had girlfriends come out with me, and I think just like because of being out partying, I know quite a lot of people, especially men.
You know loads of people.
Yeah,
Liz.
but so do you, and it's kind of like. Especially, I think, where I was presenting in the club kind of days, you know a lot of guys. When girls come out and they're kind of friends of yours, they end up dating and then they split up and then you can't kind of invite them out when you're hanging out with this person.
I'm not going to say who the person is, but one of my friends...
go on.
I know, I'm definitely not. But he definitely used my friendship groups like a dating app.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. And then it gets awkward, like, oh, wait, who's going to be at this event, Mel?
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Do you know what? That annoys me, actually, because I've had, like, when we've done... Say, like, if I've organised a dinner or something, and say you're going to invite guys and girls... And the guys will say, who's going? Who out your friends are going?
Yes.
And I think that kind of determines whether they're going to come out for dinner. Yes. I think you should be coming out because it's my birthday.
That's so true. Who out your mates is coming?
Yeah. So.
I've just read something here that made me laugh. Being friends with an ex is like keeping a ghost in your house. It might be chill at first, but at some point it's going to start knocking things over and scaring off potential new tenants.
Yeah, that's true though, isn't it?
That's so true.
That's the thing, I think, if you've got a relationship with your ex, your potential new partner, if they're feeling threatened by that, it's a definite no. You can't be friends with the ex.
This is a way to know that you're emotionally still invested. If your friend casually mentions that they're dating someone new and your first thought is, oh, I hope they're ugly. Is she hotter than me?
It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah, straight away. And then you go on a social media stalk.
Yeah, I think everyone's done that.
I mean,
apart from me.
Never.
Never. I think we've done it together.
Yeah. Definitely had a glass of wine and gone, Ed, do you know what? Let's look at so and so.
And do you know what I think? I think we're all guilty of this a little bit, or maybe it's just me. This is when I put my foot in it. That you kind of check in with an ex just to see what they're up to, and then when you realise that they're still single and they're not dating, then you just don't bother anymore.
You just want to know that I'm further along in my healing journey than you are.
Exactly. Oh, that's really bad. I'm not really like that.
Well, no, I'm joking. So, what kicked this off for me? This subject was, my favourite pastime of TikTok.
Yeah.
This was brilliant. So, somebody posted, name your ex, but as a brand, and the answers did not disappoint. So
I'm trying to think of an ex.
So, name your ex, but as a brand.
Go on, give me some.
These are some of the examples. Super dry, because that's what he made me.
Oh!
Wish. Looked huge online, but when it arrived, it was smaller than expected.
It'd be like Temu. Oh, brilliant.
Amazon Prime, because he comes quick. Oh, we're going to get absolutely ruined for this online.
So listen, do we actually, let's get really into the debate. Do we actually think being friends with your ex can work? You asked me the question, are you friends apart from that one particular person? And what do you think the reason is? Do you think...
I think, right,
they're best left in the past? There's a reason why you've left them?
I think the boundaries get really blurred, right? Because when you're in a relationship with someone, there's a friendship there as well.
Yeah.
And then what happens is when you split up with them and you try and transition into that friendship, everything feels the same, but it's actually really different. So it's really easy to slip back into old habits.
Yeah.
So I think there has to be an adjustment period. There has to be a time apart.
I think also if it depends on who splits up with who.
Yeah.
So
there's always someone that's more hurt than the other.
Yeah. And I think this is when being friends with an ex really doesn't work, when one's more in love with the other.
Because someone's still got hope and someone's still hanging on.
It's just like emotional like hostaging, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really true.
Because it's like if someone's still in love with you, you're kind of, I don't know, are you using them or keeping them near for whatever reason, whatever you can get
for your
out
own
of
comfort
it, or,
reasons. Yeah, that's wrong. Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind, don't you?
I do
And
find
cut
it
off.
I do find it hard just to cut things off straight. You know, like some people can just like end a relationship, it's done and dusted, never speak to them again. Part of me is a little bit like, I've spent all this time with somebody, it's a shame not to kind of be friends.
I've done it. Well, you know, I've done it.
Sometimes you have to. I have
I've done it
as well.
recently. And actually, I think as I've got older, I found it easier to do that.
Yeah.
Not easier.
Well, we've got less patience, haven't we, Mel?
Hurry up, come on. Out you go.
Yeah.
No, I think as I've got older, I think I try and lead less with emotion.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I'm quite an emotional person. And
after one glass of wine, you've got to hand her the tissues.
it could be an Andrex advert, and I'm like, but look at the little puppy. Do you know that there's unwanted puppies all around?
I think we've often cried at EastEnders together. But do you know what? I do look at other relationships with people. I've got friends that have kind of split up, and they're still best friends, like, because they've got kids together.
Wow.
And also their partners are friends.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to a friend of mine the other day, and his wife, that they've split up, but they obviously co-parent the child. But he actually went out for a beer and a game of golf with her new partner.
That's so nice.
And I just thought that's amazing. I'd have loved to have experienced that. I didn't. But I think that's really like mature. And I think also for the child, you've got to put the child first.
I think
so
also
there are reasons.
with like in our generation, a lot of these the people that are in their second time relationship, it's because the first relationship was when they were quite young.
Yeah.
And so it was never like, oh, it didn't work out because one person didn't love the other. It's just we were young, you know? So I think that's
I think
easier.
that's very true, actually. So I think if you do break up when you're older, you do it a bit more maturely, don't you?
Yeah.
And when you're younger, there's a lot of angst and tit for tat and all that kind of stuff.
Have you? So are you always the dumper, or have you been dumped?
Clearly the dumper.
Have you seen me?
I've been on the receiving end as well, you know. Probably for my behaviour. No, I'm joking.
No comment.
Yeah. No, I think you just know when. I think I've stayed in relationships longer than I should have.
Amen.
And I think in the end, you know, when I have been dumped, it was because I didn't actually want to be in the relationship, but then they realised that I didn't want to be in it. And they was just like, look, clearly you're not present.
Not in it.
So,
yeah.
So they actually gave me the easy way out, so to speak. So, but listen, I mean, there's loads of stages of when you break up with the ex, and some of the ones that I'm going to read here, you know, we do have a delusional phase, you know. You know,
that might just be my life in general. I think I'm still in the delusional phase.
But you do, it's like that delusional phase. It's going to be different this time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, we've all said that, haven't we? It's going to be different. We're going to give it a try.
Yeah.
Going to give it a try. And
the space apart has given us what we needed for a bit of clarity.
But I want proof. But also the kind of overcompensation phase, you know, and it's like, I don't know, again, if you get dumped, you want to go back and go, no, I'll be better. I will be better, I promise. Yeah. And then you're in it and you're thinking like,
it's exhausting. It's exhausting. You can't.
Because it should actually come quite natural, shouldn't it?
Absolutely. It's like the beginning bit of a relationship.
No relationships like easy going, but they shouldn't be that hard work that, you know, you're walking around on tiptoes.
On eggshells. No, that's not right. You can't
I want a relationship that's filled with laughter.
Oh my God. You know, you don't realise just how important that is when you're younger.
Yeah. You
Obviously,
go for the looks and all the rest of it, but to actually be to find your soulmate and be able to giggle and have fun and do things that you're both kind of aligned with, but
I feel like the tick box is just getting longer as I'm getting older. Yeah. Like, you know, obviously you've got to be attractive to someone, you know, physically attracted to someone, but there's so many more things that are really important now.
See, that's the thing. You hit the nail on the head there, because when I was younger, it was really about looks and stuff.
Yeah,
and I think
really
now, as I've got older, you know, someone that wouldn't have been my typical kind of looking person back then now ticks all the boxes because, you know, like I said, being funny, being kind, being intelligent. You know, I look up to someone that's got their shit together. You know,
also, like,
and that aren't at home just smoking weed.
Yeah, well, do you know
you still get a lot of grown men that do that.
Yes, we know they definitely do. When I was younger, and I used to live near Walthamstow Market, And that was how we would judge if you liked a guy. So one of the girls would go, I like him, but I'm not sure. And you would always test it by going, would you walk down the market with him? And if you said, oh, no, I don't think I would, you don't like him that much. Yeah. So
we actually had this conversation on the walk over here, because I was saying, we were just talking about, anything going on in life. And I basically said, nothing that I would basically bring out and show off.
Yeah,
which I think's it, isn't it?
Those were, in fact, your exact words. But you do. I start doing that now when I'm dating someone and I think, would I bring you on a night out? Would I take...
But that's it. There's so much to kind of... Would he get on with my girl mates? Would he get on with my boy mates? Would he be flirting with all my girl mates?
Yeah.
Would he embarrass me? Can he hold his drink? Is he going to... Is he going to get the bill at the end? But that could create problems.
Do you know what's funny about all of that? If you ask those same questions about us, it would be no.
No,
can they hold their drink? No. Will they embarrass me? Absolutely.
So listen, also going back to, the stages of getting back with your ex, there's that kind of deja vu one. Like when you're in it and go, this is all too familiar. I've been here before.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah. And thought things were going to be different, but they're not. And then I think it's just that kind of the actual breakup phase. It's like, I can't believe this happened. No, everybody else can. Yeah. And everyone told you.
You're the only one that can't believe that this happened.
And then the last little one that we're going to go over here is how to know you're in that toxic time loop. And this has actually happened to me. So, like when you get the hump, and I think still can have those feelings when someone just gets on your nerves, like block, or they're just kind of irritating, block. So you block the Instagram, you block all the socials, they can't see what you're getting up to, block the phone number, but then they find out your email and they email you. I've had that before. It's like, who? What the hell?
Do you know, I know that we're all guilty of this. There are certain people in my phone. If you look at the last conversation,
I'd love to see the phone, because there was like the ones that was like, do not call when drunk.
Well, I have to say, there were two different people said to me, am I under do not call when drunk? And then someone said, how do I get to a point where I'm do not text when drunk? Yeah. But some of the end of my conversation says, you block this contact, you unblock this contact, you block this contact, you unblock this. Because you block them and then you go, wonder if they replied. I'm just going to unblock and see if they replied. Right, no, they didn't. Well, I'm going to block you again. It's just so pointless.
See, we have this platform that we can be honest and admit to it. But do you guys do things like that?
Oh, I know.
Do you? Anyone here? You can't see the raise of hands.
No, it's just us, Lisa.
Yeah. So obviously, as a presenter when you're on the stage, you scan around, don't you? And obviously as a host, you run up and down the stage connecting with the audience. Have you ever looked in the audience and seen one of your exes just like that?
Yep. Yeah, it's happened to me a couple of times.
How did you feel? How did you kind of deal with that?
Well, the first time that happened to me...
Did you go like, oh, this is what you're missing, kind of thing, and shake it?
No, because I feel like you're quite in the zone when you're up there anyway. But there was one ex. It was probably my first relationship, and I was doing this is how long ago it was. I was doing a PA at Charlie Chan's. That's how long ago it was.
I used to love Charlie Chan's.
And he stood at the front. He stood at the front like this, and then he just stuck his fingers up at me throughout my whole performance.
Oh my God! But I mean, how childish is that?
I mean, pathetic. Another guy that was my ex, I just watched him work the room of girls whilst I was on stage.
Yeah.
I thought they...
Do you know what, though? I've been out with someone and I'm on the stage presenting, I'm doing my thing, and you can just see them kind of like hating on you.
Yeah.
Because of the attention you're getting and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And that's a real... Because then I find... myself not being my true self.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because of like how they might react to certain things, which is obviously reason why it's my ex.
Yeah, you do become quite conscious of... You either go one of two ways and go, yeah, I'll show you what you're missing.
Yeah.
Or you just become a little bit more...
Yeah. It sounds like we've had loads of exes. It's like there's like loads of like little situations. But actually, quite a lot of these scenarios have actually all rounded up kind of being with one ex, but a different kind of nights out, basically. So, there's also like when you move on and then they text, I've changed. I want to see proof. Have you ever gone back?
You know what the best one is? When you just get a random... Actually, somebody texted me this the other day and I had to say to him, I am not... WYD, what you doing? I was like, I'm sorry, do I strike you as a what you doing kind of girl? Because this is not a conversation. WYD at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
No.
Or when they're out and they're drunk, I miss you.
Yeah.
That's why.
But then
it's a reality in the week you don't hear from them.
But, see, again, this is the thing. Is it...
True feelings coming out.
Coming out because you've had a few sherbets.
Yeah. And you don't have the confidence to actually...
Or is it just... I'm drunk, darling, because I've got nothing else to do, or they haven't pulled that night.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to know, isn't it?
And the other thing that people always get really up in their feels about, like, he watched my story. Like, he's definitely stalking me. He's watching my story. But he might just be, the truth might just be sat on the loo at home, literally just... But people put a real... Or there's people that will actively not watch anything you're doing. I'm not watching... I won't watch your story.
Yeah.
If you didn't care,
do you know what, though? I think that's true. You don't want to... Like, if you split up with somebody, you don't want to be seen watching their stories, do you?
No. But if you truly didn't care and you were truly detached from the situation, you probably would watch it because I don't really care.
But then you it's them having the wrong idea. That's the issue, I guess. There, isn't it?
God,
but
you
know what?
Psychological warfare.
I know this
isn't
is what it is. But we're talking about the last show that we did, and when we made a comment, and this guy was actually quite rude to us. And then next thing, he's stalking the profile.
Yes.
It's like, what do you want, mate?
What is that about?
Anyway, so I guess to round it up, like, I mean...
Okay, so what do you think? Can you be friends with an ex?
I think depends on the circumstances.
That's not a yes or no.
No. I'm not a black or white kind of person. I've got a whole lot more to say. The shady areas. But I think it comes down to if you share a child or you share a business or something, you want to try and be friends. I don't think it's necessary to be at war with an ex.
No.
But and I think the only time that really you're going to try and make that work is if for friend circles or just out of, politeness, because you're going to be in this friend circles, I guess, or
that's
or
always
family,
a difficult one, isn't it? Because when you date someone, essentially you date their family, you date their friends, and then what do? Do you remove yourself completely?
It can be really hard and lonely, and when you split up with somebody that
don't give me a glass of wine, you'll start me crying again.
No, but the thing is, like, if you've shared all the same friends and then those friends have to choose sides, that's quite difficult.
Yeah, it's tough.
They
always choose me, so it's fine. Yeah,
that's a good thing, babe. But
I'm joking before the trolls get excited. Who does she think she is?
Well, listen, love talking about this.
Love it. Yeah, let us know in the comments, guys, and give us some of your, give us some of your anecdotes and your stories about your exes, and we love to hear it.
And also, guys, if you've got a topic that you'd like us to discuss,
let us know. Let us know. But, what was that thing you said? You said you were going to say at the end.
So some bridges are meant to be burned, guys. So listen to this. Some ships are meant to sink. And some exes are meant to be blocked, deleted, buried, whatever it might be. Stayed in the past and staying in the past. Put them in the archives.
Did you say buried, like under the patio, like in Brookside?
I'm never going to get trolled for
I'm off to go and dig up Lisa's garden.
Can you imagine the police knocking on my door? Who's in the garden? No, they're all in the shed. No, there's no one in my shed or under the patio. Yes.
Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you again same time next week.
See ya.